Now on WCCO 4 News, 2 men, including a father of 2, are killed when a huge box crashes through several floors at a construction site. We have several reports next. Cameras on a bus catch a local holdup as it happens. And local workers change equipment to fight a hidden danger at ice rinks. WCCO 4 News is next.
With clear, accurate coverage. This is WCCO 4 News, the hometown team.
The deadly accident happened more than 100 feet up, and in just seconds, it was over 8 floors below. 2 workers are dead. One was the father of 2 young children. Hello, I'm Amelia Santinello.
And I'm Dennis Doda. Dawn is off.
It happened so quickly.
But some folks who watched say it seemed to go in slow motion. And we have team coverage on today's deadly accident on a Minneapolis construction site. Frederica Freiberg has the story of the men who died in this horrible accident. And Tony Berlin is at the construction site with more on the investigation into how this happened. We begin with him. Tony?
Dennis, it is very quiet out here, and it will stay that way until inspectors can figure out what exactly went wrong. At this point, all we can do is to describe to you what happened. The scene is silent hours after this disaster. A 1,000-pound bolt storage box plowed through 8 floors, killing 2 workers.
I heard a loud explosion and then saw what appeared to be a huge orange object kind of slide through the floors.
In this case, 8 stories equals a 100-foot drop. The box was so heavy, it took just a few seconds before it slammed into the ground. The Ryan Company says the box, the size of a small car, contained bolts, rigging, and cables. It was around 9:30 in the morning when the box somehow slipped off 2 beams supporting it.
Loud, steel, just crashing through 3 or 4 floors.
Witnesses cringed at the deafening sounds. The box turned sideways and tore through floor after floor, passing 2 workers on the 6th floor, cutting through metal decking like it was sheets of paper.
It was coming so fast that I actually thought it was coming off the edge of the building.
The workers fell 6 stories to their deaths.
It was a huge explosion, and it was almost a series of one big one, and then when whatever it was landed, it really shook the ground.
Witnesses say the box landed only a few feet from other workers on the bottom floor. Amazingly, no one else was hurt. Now, the Ryan Company says the box itself is owned by a subcontractor here at the site. Those inspectors should be back here again tomorrow, and we don't expect this work here to resume here until Friday at the earliest.
All right. Tony, thanks a lot. A 49-year-old Minneapolis husband and father of 2 was one of the victims who was killed. And our team coverage continues now with Frederica Freiberg, who has more on that part of the story. Fred?
Darrell Hilgendorf was perhaps destined to become an electrical contractor. His father was one before him. He had been in the business for 19 years and on this job for a couple of months. Now, his family was aware of the dangers of such high-rise work, of course, but whoever believes one day on the job will be any different, or worst of all, that it will be the last. Relatives of the victims rushed to the site, overcome with grief. Fellow crew members sought and were given counseling from clergy who came, but the shock of the deaths hung over the busy downtown as bouquets of flowers lay in memorial to the men who died while doing their dangerous jobs.
Our heartfelt sadness and prayers are with these men, and especially with the families involved.
We know more about one of them. He was Darrell Hilgendorf, a husband and father of a 10-year-old girl and 7-year-old boy.
A wonderful husband, wonderful father, a good friend, and a very thoughtful man.
Hilgendorf's sudden death is difficult, we're told, for the children to understand just yet, but the family's deep faith is offering comfort. Hilgendorf himself was a church elder, and it can be said his 7-year-old son understands enough to offer words of solace to the adults.
He said, "Daddy's with the angels right now," and, you know, boy, can you get some comfort from that.
2 memorial funds have been established for the men who died in this accident, one through the Electrical Workers Union, the other through Ryan Construction. Dennis?
All right, Fred, thank you. And the medical examiner's office has not yet released the name of the other victim. Amelia?
We want to give you a better look at where this all happened. The new Piper Jaffray building is going up along Nicollet Mall, just northeast of 9th Street. Before starting construction, workers had to demolish the conservatory. March, demolition crews brought down the building with dynamite as a crowd along the mall watched. The conservatory was just 11 years old, but the mall and office space wasn't popular enough to stay open. Now, this isn't the first mishap on this construction site. Another crane got stuck when a part of a crane was extended back too far. Workers feared that a piece might break and fall right into the mall, so police shut down the street until the crane was fixed a few hours later. No one was hurt then. Ryan Construction says that crane was not involved in today's accident.
Accidents like these are just examples of how dangerous construction jobs like this can be. And we checked on the numbers in Minnesota. In 1996, 11 workers died, 10 were seriously hurt. A year later, 8 died, 8 others were injured, and now this year, 12 people have died, 8 more were hurt. Experts we talked with today say that's why each company emphasizes safety so much. In downtown St. Paul, construction workers carried on with their jobs, but word of the Minneapolis accident had spread to many of them. Bill Peterson with the AFL-CIO says such accidents are rare because safety programs are drilled into workers. Still, each tragedy is a harsh reminder.
It brings you back to reality that you understand that this is a very dangerous occupation. You are very vulnerable while you're out here working, and you better make sure that you're looking out for yourself and your fellow worker.
Working the high steel, as workers refer to it, is one of the most hazardous jobs in the business.
Everybody wants to go home the same way they came to work, in one piece. You know, nobody wants to get hurt in a job. It's just hazards of the job.
The Minnesota Department of Labor says of all the people who die on the job, nearly 1/2 are killed on construction sites. And we'll have continuing coverage on this story tomorrow, beginning with WCCO this morning at 5:30 a.m.
In other news tonight, police don't know who tried to stick up a city bus over the weekend, but they know what he looks and sounds like. WCCO's Caroline Lowe explains in a story you will see only on 4.
Well, it was a terrifying ride for several Metro Transit riders, a ride that could have taken a deadly turn. Tonight, an armed robber is still on the loose, and Minneapolis police are asking for help from the public to help catch him soon. And as you watch this video, you can feel the fear on board the bus. It is a quiet ride on bus 427 as it pulls into a stop in South Minneapolis. Suddenly, a man armed with a gun points his weapon at the driver, demanding cash.
Empty that Empty that now! Empty it now! Empty that Empty it now!
Frightened riders, including several young children, scrambled to safety in the back of the bus.
Luckily, like I said, the bus driver closed the door and helped keep him from boarding the bus.
Watching the surveillance tape of the armed robbery, police say it's easy to imagine a tragedy similar to what happened last Friday in Seattle. A man there shot a city bus driver, sending the bus careening 50 feet off a bridge, killing 3 people, injuring 32 riders.
It looks like it has capability, maybe, 40 to 50 rounds in the magazine. And for the safety of the people, if he boarded the bus and became unstable and more agitated, he might just start opening fire and hitting innocent people.
Now, police say it appears that the man is either white or Hispanic, probably in his late teens. They also point out that this kind of violence is very rare on Metro buses. In fact, about 40% of them now have cameras on board. Also, they point out the fact that the drivers don't have access to the money in the cash boxes. Amelia?
Caroline, they must be pretty happy, though, that they got a really good shot of this man.
This is one of the best videos they've obtained, but they're getting more and more like this from the buses.
All right. Thank you, Caroline, for that report.
Minnesota Governor-elect Jesse Ventura is taking a crash course on state politics. And today, Ventura tread new ground once again, this time with state judges. As usual, the governor-elect got his share of laughs. But while Ventura urged judges to make the bench more people-friendly, he admitted he didn't know much about it. So, for now, the verdict is out on how Ventura plans to select his judges.
U.S. Supreme Court justices today argued Minnesota's treaties rights case. The question, can 8 Chippewa Indian groups hunt and fish around central Minnesota without state regulation? In Washington, Chippewa bands beat drums in a sunrise ceremony. An order from 1850 tells Chippewa tribes to stop gaming and leave the land. But the Chippewa didn't go, so lawyers for the tribe say that order is not valid. If that's the case, an older treaty is in effect, giving the Chippewa unregulated rights. The court won't decide this case until next year. A federal jury today decided former Agriculture Secretary Mike Espy is not guilty of accepting illegal gifts on the job. Espy and his lawyers hugged after the jury cleared him on 30 charges of give and take with groups he worked with or regulated. During the 4-year investigation, Espy said the gifts came from personal friends. That's not illegal. The Clinton administration let Espy go when the first allegations came out.
How is your spirit of adventure? Because you could go out this Saturday morning and just not know where the day will take you. That's because Northwest Airlines is offering one-day mystery flights. Your destination, unknown. Possible stops include L.A., Boston, or New York. Here's what you do. Head to the Northwest City ticket office at the Mall of America tomorrow morning. It's a first-come, first-served basis with only 500 tickets available. $79 gets you a round-trip ticket somewhere. $139 will get you 2 tickets to who knows where.
I bet you there's a lot of takers out there if there were planes coming to Minneapolis, because the weather is probably the best in the country.
You're absolutely right. I think there will be more people arriving than leaving.
Yeah.
Snowbirds are confused right about now. Do we head south or maybe just hang for another week or 2 or 3? Well, first there was light beer and then light rock. Now we have light winter. December light. Blue sky without all the wintry additives, without the salt and sand and wind chill. A couple more days of spring fever and then some fairly big changes for the weekend and a big change for next week. We'll go into detail for you coming up in just a few minutes. Dennis and Amelia?
All right, we'll see you then, Paul. Thanks.
Coming up next on WCCO 4 News, pretty soon you'll be able to forget your PIN number and still get cash at an ATM.
And this bird needs help. See what local vets are doing to save her life.
And I'm Jim King. There may be danger lurking at your local rink. We'll tell you what's being done to prevent any problems. The story coming up.
And we need your help to help kids in our hometowns this holiday season. Donate money right now to our Gifts for Children program. This will give children in Minnesota a gift of family, safety, and new opportunity. Call 612-330-2764 or the toll-free number 1-877-223-9226. And the phone bank will be open until 11 o'clock.
I'm Dave Huddleston.
I'm Cindy Hilger. Holiday parties can be fun, but they can also be fattening.
Tips on enjoying the festivities without putting on the pounds on WCCO this morning.
Friday, there's still one place to catch NBA superstar Karl Malone.
You ever play basketball there?
Why, because I'm black?
How about because you're tall?
Plus, when Don works his magic on Yasmin's leaf.
I am so on to you.
Could tonight be the night?
You know, it's crossed my mind.
Now we're getting somewhere.
All new Nash Bridges, CBS Friday.
So what did you get for Christmas last year?
I don't know. I know it'll come to me.
What did I get?
I'm having one of those senior moments. I have absolutely no idea.
What did I get for Christmas?
Christmas?
I can think of this. It'll come to me.
Why not give something memorable this Christmas?
I can't remember.
Wixon Jewelers. Make this year a memorable one.
Santa Claus underwear.
Hiding presents can be a challenge, but your shopping doesn't have to be, because TJ Maxx brings thousands of fashions and gifts to each store every week. So finding great gifts at great prices is easy. It's keeping them a secret that's hard.
Got furniture? If it's quality oak dining room furniture you desire, Schneiderman's has Cochran furniture. Casual or formal, you'll find your dining room furniture at Schneiderman's. Count on American-made, rock-solid dining room furniture by Cochran. Count on kinder, gentler prices at Schneiderman's. Got furniture? Get Cochran furniture at Schneiderman's.
Oh, no.
No. What are you doing?
Give me the bag. Stance is all wrong. Check this out. Come to Papa.
The Saturn wagon. With easy to maintain, dent-resistant doors.
Good pitch. I'll see you guys later.
Now, Don Shelby, Amelia Santinello, weather with Paul Douglas, and Mark Rosen on sports. You're watching WCCO 4 News, the hometown team.
You may think the biggest danger at an indoor ice rink is a flying puck, but researchers from Harvard today claim that there is another danger.
They studied 19 rinks and cited the case involving the Minneapolis Stallions Hockey Club. While playing in Idaho, several players got sick and even had to be hospitalized after being overcome by fumes from an ice resurfacing machine. As WCCO's Jim King tells us, with that danger, rinks around here are keeping a close eye on a deadly gas you can't smell and can't see.
These little ones are doing their best just to stand up on skates, but those who run the Burnsville Ice Center have other worries: carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. If a rink is not properly ventilated and ice machines have problems, skaters and spectators could also have trouble.
It's a big concern because, you know, people can get sick.
And that's why Burnsville changed equipment. They switched from propane machines to natural gas. But you still need to ventilate.
Anytime we have a large crowd, like a high school game, we'll bring in 100% fresh air and turn on all our exhaust fans.
The state requires rinks to test for dangerous emissions once a week. Burnsville does it twice a week.
This one is carbon monoxide and this one is nitrogen dioxide.
The testing takes place at center ice, and on this night, only a trace amount was found.
We don't have to notify anyone until there's 30 parts per million in the air, and so we're looking real good right now.
And for most parents, the focus seems to be on capturing those first few strides.
It never occurred to me that they would have, you know, I suppose they have motors in them. I never, you know, thought about it.
But with indoor ice arenas in nearly every Minnesota city, keeping tabs on the Zamboni is a must. Right now we're in northeast Minneapolis at the Edison Civic Arena, and this is the safest way to go. It's a machine that's powered by electricity. You can see that it's tethered right here and actually then goes up to the ceiling where there's a rail and almost works like a street trolley. The drawback to this, however, Amelia, is that the cost could be up to about $100,000 to get an electric machine in your ice rink.
All right, Jim, thank you for that report.
Some new technology at the cash machine has folks forgetting their ID numbers. That's because the code's now in the eye of the beholder. Believe it or not, it is iris identification. That's even more accurate than checking your fingerprints. If you need any proof, these identical twins gave the machine a test run. When one used the other's card, it was a no-go. And don't worry about that little flashing light bugging your eyes, because you can even wear sunglasses, and it still works. And we've got a lot of sunglasses being spotted around our area lately.
We're going to pause for a moment while Dennis gargles.
A little. I feel
Are you okay?
great. They tried to send me home, but I feel great.
You're a trooper for being here tonight.
It's just this little horse thing. It'll
I think
go
this
away.
warm weather is making the flu and bug season even worse. I think all of us are somewhat disoriented. The bugs are disoriented. Who was it, Abe Lincoln, who said, you can't please all the people all the time? I think he could have been talking about a weather forecast this time of year. A majority of Minnesotans just fine with this touch of spring fever, but many of us have a hankering for snow. My kids just learned how to ski, and they're taking this personally, as are a lot of people who like to ski or snowmobile, and our time is coming. 58 the high today, a little off our normal high of 30 for this state, a low of 32, no precipitation. 48 and partly cloudy right now, thanks to photojournalist Tony Noss down in Chaska. A beautiful nativity scene down there. Dew point 45, humidity 89, a southwest breeze, and the barometer falling. A major forest fire raging across Victoria, Australia. It has already burned through 375 acres of a pine plantation. 200 firefighters battling the blaze with the help of 42 fire trucks. The first significant brush fire of the Australian summer. Summer down there, the peak season for brush fires usually comes late January, early February. You can dial up Australian weather, in fact, weather for the whole world. This is yahoo.com, and there's a link on WCCO.com, channel 4000, where you can get all kinds of information, satellite imagery, radar, and specific temperature predictions as well. Speaking of temperatures, 64 this afternoon in Lakeville. At the same time, it was 55 in Princeton and Cambridge. A couple of records, 70 in Yankton this afternoon. 62 was a record in Eau Claire. Visibility is now dropping down to 1/8 of a mile in Duluth, and there may be some patchy dense fog early tomorrow. Probably not on the metro, but fairly close to home there may be some foggy problems. We still have that Pacific breeze. High pressure in control for now. Here comes the next system. It'll be warm enough for rain as it approaches on Saturday. On the backside of this next storm, enough cold air will come rushing southward for a changeover to a little wet snow. But ground temperatures are still warm. We don't expect any accumulation, and nothing frigid is in store. But we will see a return to more seasonable temperatures next week. More on that. But first, a peek up north.
Living with Hope is sponsored by America's pharmaceutical companies.
We're closer today to finding a cure for leukemia than we have ever been. Acute promyelocytic leukemia is one of the deadliest forms of leukemia.
5 years ago, if Reese came down with this leukemia, he wouldn't have made it.
Pharmaceutical companies have developed very important and remarkable medicines.
This new medicine has given us our family back.
We have to continue moving forward because the answer is clearly within our reach.
Mud holes, dirt roads. Most people wouldn't think of driving through stuff like that. But then that's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive. It automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip, which means it does the thinking for you.
Sorry, mate. Guess I wasn't thinking.
Hello, this is Scott Hamilton with my friend Snowden. Look for us and Katya Gordieva in our holiday special, Snowden on Ice, right here on CBS.
Turkey Day may be over, but you'll find a lot more than just leftovers at Slumberland's amazing Thanksgiving Home Spectacular. We're still piling on the biggest savings of the year in every department, with no down payment, no payments, and no interest until the year 2000. So don't wait another minute. Hop up and get up and roll on in today. Don't miss the Thanksgiving Home Spectacular at Slumberland Furniture.
Till on Saturday.
There's one game that more Minnesotans play than any other. It's a game of thrills, quickness, and hard-hitting excitement. It's Bingo! Introducing Bingo from the Minnesota State Lottery. With the new $3 instant game, Mystery Bingo, you get 4 chances to win up to 25 grand, plus another chance to win with a mystery pattern.
Bingo!
From the Minnesota State Lottery.
Eventually, you will need those Channel 4 blankets. Maybe as early as Sunday or Monday. And which way are the Canada geese heading, north or south? We're not sure. They're disoriented just like we are. Thanks very much to Kathleen Keppers from Bluffton, Minnesota, for tonight's winning weather photo. 44 tonight for a low, high clouds, some patchy fog. And then during the day on Thursday, partly sunny, 58, not quite a record, a few degrees shy. Friday's predicted high of 53 would be a record. The old record is 51. A little bit of light rain Saturday, temperatures still upper 40s to around 50. And then chilling down on Sunday, the rain could mix with a few wet snowflakes. No accumulation expected, at least not near the metro. Maybe a coating up north. Monday flurries, you remember those. And
Yeah.
a high of 34. And that 34 is about as chilly as it's going to get next week. We could be back up maybe low to mid 40s by the middle part of next week.
Goodness. All right.
Thanks, Paul.
You bet.
Coming up next in sports with Mark Rosen, an update on Paul Molitor. And the Stripes are at the center of our sports spotlight.
And here's a look at tonight's winning Powerball numbers.
And once again, tonight we have an easy way to help kids in your hometown this holiday season. For more information, call our phone bank at 612-330-2764 or the toll-free number 1-877-223-9226. This will be open until 11 o'clock.
There are two kinds of risk. Investing too aggressively is one, and investing too conservatively is another. You need an investment strategy that handles both risks.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
You know, since the Blockbuster gift card came along, Santa just seems a little cooler than he used to be.
Get your gift cards at Blockbuster or on the web at blockbuster.com.
It's Doolittle time.
Don't stop
Now on video. Do a little begging. Do a little yelling.
Dr. Dolittle, rated PG-13. Guaranteed to be there at Blockbuster Video.
Macy's Great Gift Weekend Sale. Find the perfect gift for everyone on your list at incredible holiday savings. Thursday through Sunday only at Macy's.
All you want for Christmas is that Walgreens. Household gifts for each one in the family. Mama loves the blender or the two-slice toaster. How about the mixer or the kitchen gourmet percolator? Walgreens has all this and much more. Lots of other things you love to choose from. Silver-plated glassware, forks, coffee set, and look at all the tools we've got for fixing things around the house. All you want for Christmas is that Walgreens.
The new Samsonite Silhouette 6 was recently introduced to an unsuspecting audience. They, however, responded to it immediately. Many took to the maneuverability granted by its four wheels. Others to its rather ingenious stacking shelves. And still others, well, just took to the whole style of it all. Travelers everywhere, it could be the answer to your prayers. The Samsonite Silhouette 6, world proof.
I think it's important to diversify, so I talked to a financial advisor. I learned that there was more opportunity in bond funds than I ever realized.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Well, speculation has been swirling since the end of October about whether Paul Molitor is going to stay, is he going to go?
Well, it appears that Paul Molitor is closing in on a decision regarding his future in baseball, and the Twins aren't in the picture. Paul has job offers from both the Toronto Blue Jays and the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, my gut feeling is that Paul's playing days are probably over. Milwaukee's front office makes the most sense with a new stadium on the horizon, plus his friendship with Sal Bando in the front office. Now, why the Twins couldn't offer an exact job description to Paul Molitor is beyond me. Paul told me he's going to sleep on the other offers, maybe make a decision tomorrow. It's almost unheard of for any wide receiver to be the difference on a football team. Jerry Rice had that impact in his prime with San Francisco, but not in his rookie year. What Randy Moss has done exceeds anyone's expectations. He leads the NFL with 11 touchdowns and is second in receiving yards with over 1,000. Randy has also developed an overall understanding of the game and this offense that shows up in a lot more ways than just catching touchdown passes. Whatever first-year burnout that can occur has been alleviated by that 11-1 record. Everyone on this team is juiced to get back on the field and keep improving, and Moss is no exception.
I said time and time again, I think I got, when I showed up in Mankato at training camp, I got bombarded with questions about, am I ready to go? Am I happy to be here? And my first answer was, I'm ready to just play. And, day in and day out, I just want to play ball. So, I think I told Chris that I'm going to come here and try to do the best I can to rip the NFL up, and that's just like my goal.
Yeah, you've been doing that, Randy. Leroy Hord's teammates said the huddle's going to be a lot noisier with him in it on Sunday night. Leroy is the perfect fit while Robert Smith gets that knee healthy, and the man who has 7 touchdowns this year is ready.
I'm going to carry the ball more, but I'm not going to do anything different or be any more excited than I am. How can you not be excited about the way the season has gone? Just that in itself. If I have any more excitement, I've cheated myself, earlier in the year.
Baltimore's Ravens assistant coach Kirk Ferentz will be introduced as the new Iowa football coach tomorrow in Iowa City. Ferentz has Hawkeye connections. He coached under Hayden Fry from 1981 until 1989. Well, it's as clear as a coin flip. Referees were in the spotlight all week long in the NFL. So, of course, they're also in our sports spotlight, a weekly look at the highs and the lows of the week that was. Okay, you make the call.
Call it plays in the air. Head is the call.
You'd have to do better than those guys. Sometimes the refs just need a little help. But keep it quiet because sometimes they take things into their own hands. And speaking of hands, the Raiders gave one to Washington, and Wesley Shepard took it in. Our NHL play of the week goes to Toronto's Steve Sullivan, who faked the Senators out of their skates before setting up Derek King. And if you missed the NBA as much as Keenan McCardell, why not try the college game, where they flipped over this buzzer beater? Hey, kid, you just won the game with no time on the clock. What do you do next? He must be going to Disney World, or maybe McDonald's.
out the door. Get that last shot at McDonald's.
And you followed him, right?
It's still going.
Thank
I
you,
love that
Mark.
shot.
After this, a medical miracle that is for the birds.
Sunday, a late husband's diary reveals a hidden past.
I thought I knew everything about Warren.
Was there another woman?
I need to know.
One grandson will search for the truth.
No, it turns out he had this other life.
But what he finds...
Did you say that she's been here for 24 years?
...will change their family forever.
This search is one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Debbie Reynolds, Neil Patrick Harris, in a world premiere movie, The Christmas Wish. CBS Sunday.
This holiday, don't just decorate your tree, bake it. Pillsbury Holiday Cookies have a Christmas tree shape inside. Just slice them, bake them, and eat them. For a cookie that tastes tremendous.
Dial 1010-345 for long distance. Calls are always 10 cents a minute. Long calls, short calls, all calls, 10 cents a minute with no monthly fee. And every call's a chance to win a prize. So dial 1010-345 plus 1 and the number today. Rough.
Menards has great gift ideas that you can use year-round. This screw-drive Chamberlain garage door opener is just $129. Buy now and get a free keyless entry or mini transmitter that fits on your keychain. Sunbeam gas grills make a great gift. This grill is holiday priced at only $189. This deluxe grill is just $259. Be a smart Santa and save at Menards.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Truck is here. Introducing the new Silverado. It's bigger. It's more powerful. It's the truck from Chevrolet.
Don't shoot, man. I am unarmed.
Now you can get a touch of the tropics right here in Minnesota. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. You're just minutes away from hours of fun.
Treasure Island Resort and Casino.
Finally denied a treatment for a fowl that's feeling pretty foul.
You may have seen the unique patient at Como Park Zoo in the last 30 years. And today, Harriet the pink flamingo was quiet as sight herself at the University of Minnesota. The feathered patient has a cancerous tumor on her webbed foot. A team of doctors put the long-necked bird under to prepare her for radiation treatment. And she had a pretty hard time holding up her head, but after, she soon bounced back.
Wow.
She could live another 20 years.
She already got a pretty big bill out of it.
Oh.
Actually, that was pretty good, Dennis. We were all trying to think of something. Oh, come on.
Fade
You're
to
mad
black,
you didn't
fade
think
to
about it.
That was pretty good.
Thanks for joining us. David Letterman is next.
I get no respect. No respect, no.
Menards has great gift ideas that you can use year-round. This screw-drive Chamberlain garage door opener is just $129. Buy now and get a free keyless entry or mini transmitter that fits on your keychain. Sunbeam gas grills make a great gift. This grill is holiday priced at only $189. This deluxe grill is just $259. Be a smart Santa and save at Menards.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
They clean them. They polish them. They lavish them with extras. Maybe the reason Dodge Ram owners take such good care of their trucks is that their trucks take such good care of them. And now, Ram is J.D. Power & Associates' most appealing full-size pickup for the 4th consecutive year. The rules have changed.
We are not happy about this.
You go, girl.
We weren't happy about baking all day either.
But it was ours.
New stovetop oven classics.
A one-dish oven-baked chicken dinner.
Sauce, seasoned stuffing.
All you add is chicken.
5 minutes to make.
30 to bake.
A Sunday taste.
Tuesday epic.
Dad-nabbit. What's next? Thanksgiving in a box.
New stovetop stovetop oven classics. Sunday taste, Tuesday effort.
We need a martini.
Santa's had the right idea all along. This rig can hold way more than my minivan.
Visit Marshall's today for the season's most fashionable sweaters. Choose from a fabulous selection for misses and juniors for an incredible $14.99.
Look, I'm saving on gas.
Save on popular styles. Sweaters make great gifts, and at $14.99, you can treat yourself, too.
Who knows? Maybe I'll meet up with Santa while I'm out and about.
Marshall's, brand names for less.
Every day.